to the final day of the 2024 Copa de la Familia, brought to you by Duracell. We were here on Thursday online, and that's how we got to our grand finale today on Tuesday. Happy to have you along. Once again, your host, Joe Malfa. Happy to have you with us on Twitch and the Inter Miami YouTube channel. Just a reminder for those of you who might be new, it started last Thursday, the online portion of the tournament. We had over 900 applicants to enter this year's Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. That was whittled down to our 31 participants in the 8 groups. World Cup style, top 2 in each group made it out of the pool and into the bracket. From there, we played down to our 2 finalists here today. They got to travel into Fort Lauderdale from Austin and Orlando, and all playing for the grand prize of a one-day contract with Inter Miami. And the bracket, how we got here, it was pretty easy for both of our finalists here today. Auto Pro 1, you'll meet him in a second. That's Joe. And Bebehota 69, that's Mauricio. They really did not have much trouble getting out of the group or getting through the bracket either. The closest score we had was 11-9. And even that one never really felt like Bebehota 69 was threatened. It seemed like he was in control of that entire game, despite the 2-goal margin in the end. And just a reminder now of the prizes here today. If you were with us on Thursday, we talked a lot about that one-day contract with Inter Miami. Was supposed to happen this week due to the unforeseen circumstances, of course, of Hurricane Milton on the way. That will be postponed. So the grand prize winner will still get that one-day contract with Inter Miami, but it is at a date to be announced later. In addition, the first-place winner gets a jersey signed by the entire club, and then the second-place winner gets a ball signed by the Big Four and their own custom jersey as well. So those are all the great prizes that we are playing for here today. First, we will have a friendly match between our gamers and our Inter Miami pros, and then the grand final. I'm here now with all of our participants today. We've got Joe from Austin. That is Auto Pro on the left. Then we've got Robert Taylor. That will be his opponent in the Gamer vs. Inter Miami Pro friendly. And then Bebehota 69, that's Mauricio, playing against Federico Redondo. So happy to have all of you guys here today for what should be a very fun day in the Copa de la Familia final here in 2024. Joe, I'll start with you. You make the trip in from Austin. You just waltzed through the group play and the bracket, and you've been smiling ever since you've been here. What's it been like for you?
It's unreal experience for sure. I mean, the group stage, was not to sound, overconfident or anything, but I mean, I felt pretty confident the whole way through, and even through the playoff bracket, elimination bracket, I mean, I felt pretty confident the whole way through. So, I mean, the experience itself, it's been great. The format, everybody I played, great sportsmanship. So, I mean, it's definitely been a great experience so far.
And Mauricio, you as well. You just came through the group stage pretty easy. You had one of the fun moments. We were talking about it before.
Oh,
you're a computer science major. You scored a free kick. You got all the numbers and the angles right, and now you're here.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good actually to be here only playing FIFA. So it feels like incredible through the tournament. It was hard actually at the beginning, but then when you start going in the rounds, you get like more confidence to yourself. So I feel that's the key in everything, to be honest. So I feel pretty good to be here, pretty happy. This is an incredible experience, and yeah.
You brought a special good luck charm with you, I saw as well. You had that Zinedine Zidane jersey that you wore during your stream on Thursday night. You got through, so now you had to bring the jersey with you today.
Yeah, no. I wish I could wear it, but no. But yeah, it is pretty like, I'm a Zinedine Zidane fan, so having that shirt, and it's like the shirt that he uses when he won the final, so it's like really good for me. It was a big prize, a gift that my family gave it to me, so it's also pretty special for me.
Awesome. We'll see if it brings you luck today. Joe, I don't know if that's bad news for you that he's got that good
Hopefully
luck
not,
with him today. Robert, you guys have a nice little time off here now. International break coming up, coming off the big week winning the Supporters Shield. You guys had some fun in the locker room I saw after that one, and you get some much-needed time off. But you get to be here today. Now, you did say that you and Fede are not the best at EAFC, so this will be fun to watch, huh?
I think this will be their easiest games versus me and Fede, so I think they can relax before their big final.
How much time do you guys even have time to play? I mean, you're too busy winning trophies all of a sudden.
No, we do have time to play, but I don't play FIFA. I'm really bad at it.
Okay.
But it's going to be a fun experience for sure.
You're good on the actual field, and that's what's most important. Better to be good in the real world than the virtual world here. Are you going to put yourself in the lineup when we play and customize the lineups?
No, he'll be on the bench.
Okay.
I'll
All
be
right.
on the bench for sure.
There you have it. All right, so how it's going to work today, the pairs that we have on the couches here are going to play each other in a friendly first, and then after the friendlies, we'll take a quick break, come back, and get to our grand finale of Mauricio against Joe. So that's how things will go. Time for you guys to get up and go play. So we're at that point of the day. So you guys will play your friendly, Joe and Robert, and then you guys as well, simultaneously, Mauricio and Fede. You can head on over, and we'll get things going.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, ready to get things going here on the final day of the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. We know our contestants are already built different. We saw that when they came through the group stage and the bracket this past Thursday. And just a reminder again of how they got here. If you go ahead and follow along on the bottom half of the bracket, Auto Pro 1, it's the fourth one up from the bottom. That was his first round of 16, a dominant 17-2 showing. I mean, it was one thing to have a scoreline like that in group play where you didn't quite know everybody's skill level. Once you got down to the bracket stage, everybody was the best of the best. A 15-goal win, then a 6-3 win that was never really close. It was, I believe, 6-1 late, and then a couple goals came in once Joe started playing around, and then a dominant 11-3 showing in the semifinal as well against a player who we thought maybe was the best in the tournament, Ricky Loco 29. He had dominated his own way to the semifinal, but dominant from Joe on the top side of the bracket then as well. With Bebejota 69, Mauricio coming through, a dominant 10-1 showing in the round of 16. Close score line, 11-9 in the round of 8, but again, it was never really close until late when they took the foot off the gas pedal a little bit. And the semifinal, a strong 7-3 showing as well against another player who, in CCGG18, that all of you in the chat on Twitch and on YouTube thought, just based on the visuals, was one of the best players in the tournament. And we were able to prove in the end that it was Joe and it was Mauricio who were the two best in the tournament. So they are set. They are toggling their lineups right now and their settings over in the other playing area. And we'll see how this goes. You had Fede and Robert, who both said they are not great when it comes to EAFC. It's a good thing they're better on the actual field, powering Inter Miami to the supporters field victory last week when they beat Columbus, and then that win on the weekend as well against Toronto. Has Inter Miami in a position right now for the season finale on October 19th to beat New England, and in addition to that Supporters Shield trophy, set the all-time record for points in a single MLS regular season. So it's been a historic team. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll continue to have some more fun here today, powered by Duracell. Now, these score lines might not be so friendly. They're friendly matches, but based on what all four of our participants here were saying earlier and the skill level that we saw from Joe and Mauricio, I don't know if Fede and Robert are going to do or fare so well in this one, but we'll see. We'll have some fun. Those guys will have a good time, no doubt, and we will see where it takes us. They're still over there toggling their lineups as far as I can see right now. Robert said he's going to put himself on the bench. I'm going to hold him to that. I got to make sure that he keeps himself on the bench there, and we'll see how things go. Now, don't forget prizes once again after we get to the grand final. Whoever wins the first place grand prize gets that one-day contract with Inter Miami. We said it last week a lot. It was supposed to be this week, but the impending hurricane that is coming to Florida in the next couple of days, Hurricane Milton, that is postponed thing, so it'll be a date to be announced later for that one-day contract. And you saw it on the table where they were sitting moments ago, that soccer ball in the case. That is the second place prize. In addition, second place gets their own custom jersey, and first place also gets a jersey signed by the whole team. Let's see here. We've got the lineups being toggled. This is over on the match between, I believe, Mauricio and Fede. Well, Robert said he wasn't going to play as himself, but Fede put Robert in his lineup. That's a good teammate right there. And we are about to be underway now in our friendlies. This one you're watching here is the match between Mauricio and Fede. You've got Federico Redondo in the pink. Bebejota 69, that's Mauricio in the black. We are underway in our first friendly here in the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. Just about set to get things going between Joe and Robert as well once we get through this one. And then beyond that, our grand final, when our two finalists will meet, Mauricio and Joe. For as bad as Federico said he was coming in, he gets our first crack at goal and almost makes it 1-0 against Mauricio. Got Robert and Joe looking on now, rooting on Mauricio and Fede. This is our first exhibition match here. I'm just waiting for Mauricio to score against Fede as Fede. It's Fede making the pass up to Messi now, into Suarez. It serves as a good warm-up, too, for our two contestants. They get to play each other for the grand prize. Mauricio working his way through. And we are getting going now in the other match as well. Robert and Joe are just about set to kick off, so we'll have both these exhibition matches running simultaneously, ping-pong back and forth. An opportunity brewing here for Fede. Second time that he's come close to scoring on Mauricio. I don't know if either Fede or Robert beat our two gamers here today. Does that mean they get their own additional one-day contract with Inter Miami besides the contracts they already have? I guess we'll have to ask legal about that. I don't know about Mauricio or Joe losing, though. Shaky start so far for Mauricio, but after what we saw on Thursday on the tournament, I think they'll both be fine in the end. Just a matter of when they get going here. And here's a look. Federico Redondo on the right. And Mauricio, that's Bebejora 69 on the left. One of our grand finalists in this Copa de la Familia powered by Duracell. In the other game, it's already 1-0 with Joe up on Robert Taylor. That game started later than the other one, and it already has a goal. Meanwhile, Fede and Mauricio are still locked at 0-0. Still holding strong against Mauricio. We're going to flip over now to the match between Joe and Robert. And again, that 1-0 lead already for Joe. Got Robert in the black here in this one, or rather Joe in the black, excuse me. It's already 2. Oh, the first goal was scored with Fede, so there you go, Joe. You can reach over and let him know that you scored with him. Auto Pro 1, that's Joe, one of our grand finalists, 2-0 lead already. He is getting warmed up for that grand final in just a little while. And one thing that we saw, anybody who was with us here on Twitch and YouTube on Thursday, that Joe is really good when it comes to just quick passing in and around the 18. I lost track of how many goals he scored where he got end line and passed it to a wide open man in front. Joe has never professionally pursued any gaming, but chatting with him earlier, he mentioned that one of his proudest achievements video game-wise a couple of years ago in that edition of this game. He made it to the top 100 in the world and wasn't even trying to. Just looked up one day, saw that he was ranked top 100. He likes to just play for fun, but also says you have more fun when you're winning, and you can't really argue with that. That's why Inter Miami's had so much fun this season. Supporter Shield winners, and then the MLS Cup 2 months from now. That MLS Cup final is 2 months from yesterday. And after winning the Supporter Shield, all matches in the postseason for Inter Miami will be right here behind us in the backdrop at Chase Stadium. All right, Robert, thanks for coming. A really good start here for Joe. Could tell that he is warmed up. He was playing just against the computer earlier. And warmed up, so was Mauricio. We'll see how it goes when they lock horns coming up in a little while. And that's wide. Wow, that's a rare miss from Joe. Not used to seeing him get in that close and miss. Dominant on Thursday and dominating our exhibition match so far here against Robert Taylor. A chance here for Robert to get one back. It's 3-0 here. Joe in the lead, commandingly so. We'll flip back over to the other one, which is still tightly 0-0. Now work through, and there's our first goal. Finally comes for Mauricio. 37 minutes into this one with Suarez. Just saw Fede kick all the way back in his chair. Was happy that he got it this far at 0-0. Opportunities for both of them we've seen throughout. Is that one lead to more now for Mauricio? That's a good ball in. For Robert and Federico both coming in saying that they were not good at this game. They've been keeping it tight. The score's not so great right now in Robert's favor, but not a good tight contest against Joe. And you've got Mauricio and Fede locked in a one-goal game right now. It's been great to see this fourth edition of the Copa de la Familia. This one powered by Duracell. It's been great to see it grow. Again, we had over 900 applicants this year to join. Had 31 selected to partake on Thursday. And we hope it continues to grow next year. As all of you have seen how it's gone this year, the great prizes that we're playing for. Chance to meet and play with some of our Inter Miami pros. Last year it was Kamal Miller and Ian Frey who were here and a part of this. So halftime here between Fede and Mauricio. Now the jacket's coming off for Fede. He's ready. He's locked in for half number 2. We'll flip back over to the other game. Robert got a goal back. It's 4-1. He says 4-2 now. Let's see if he finishes it off, though. No! He called it too soon. He said it was going to be 4-2. Is it going to be 5-1 now the other way instead? Been a great event to be a part of here again in 2024. Thanks to the partners at Duracell for helping put it all together. Thanks to Robert and Fede for being here today for the exhibition portion. Got some off time coming up now. Team heading into this international break. Have this upcoming weekend off from the MLS calendar, and we'll have the regular season finale here at Chase Stadium against the New England Revolution on the 19th. Make sure you're here at the stadium on what could be a record-setting day for Inter Miami. They're well aware of the record, and they want to set it after taking home the trophy last week. And before they get to that path to MLS Cup, setting a record in the meantime would be another nice feather in the cap for the Herons. Joe looking to make it 5. This is exactly what he did Thursday. Just get end line and then create all sorts of trouble from there. And there is the 5th. Scored 3 of those with Messi. Give somebody else a chance, huh? Just ignored me. That's fine. He's going to score a 4th with Messi. Why not? There's 6. Well, it was close for a little while. Albert had a chance to make it 4-2, hit off the post, and now 6-1. Is it 7 before halftime? Oh, dribble it in. There it is. That's just rude. Come on, he's been a good host to you, Joe. You got to meet 2 Inter Miami players, and you got Robert there sunken in his chair just with an ashamed look on his face. That's cold, dude. Back to the other game now, much tighter at 1-0. Fede trying to make it 1-1 from the corner. We've got Joe giving Robert some pointers now. Listening it over at their game. Giving him some pointers on the controls. Here locked in tightly again, Fede and Mauricio. This is rare. I mean, we saw it in the tournament back on Thursday. There were not many low-scoring games like this. Just not typical. In a video game like this, you just got crazy scores all the time. The 8-4s, the 12-7s. Tight 1-0. You expect to see it between the lines here at Chase Stadium in real life, not necessarily in the virtual EAFC 25 world. Playing here today on Xbox, controllers powered by Duracell. The only battery to use in a situation like this. Like our players, and is built different. Substitution now here in this one. Mauricio and Fede both put in their Tata Martino caps on. Trying to think like the manager who should be manager of the year this year in MLS. Just one man's opinion. Just to show how little faith Robert had in Fede. He just asked him, how are you still 1-0? This is similar to last year where we had Kamal Miller, since traded on to Portland, but had him partake in this tournament last year. Had a great fun day where he surprised some people and had a really good showing in this competition. Good showing from Fede as well against one of our finalists, Mauricio. Although, Fede, I forgot to tell you, Mauricio's background is Colombian and he lives in Orlando. So for you as an Argentinian who plays for Inter Miami, it's two big rivals for you. So there's some motivation in these last 20 minutes. This is tight. I don't think Mauricio got put into this tight of a game on Thursday in the actual pool player bracket portion. This might do it, though. Oh. Rage quit, done? Oh, we've got a rage quit from Robert. He got far enough behind. And they are starting up again. So while we're locked in 1-0 here between Fede and Mauricio, and nearly had an equalizing goal, and it's been total domination the other way. And Robert rage quit down by 1 million, and they're heading into another game now. You've got Joe playing still as Inter Miami, and Robert's gone to Real Madrid. So he's hoping that the skill gap in the video game might help the actual real-life gap on the sticks. This one's still locked in. 1-0. Mauricio trying to make it 2. I'll tell you what, this is just a message to the great tournament organizers here at Inter Miami, powered by Duracell and the Copa de la Familia. We might have to get Fede in the tournament next year if he's going to be this locked in and this close against one of our finalists. That might be a nice little wrinkle to add next year. Get Fede logged in on one of the devices from day one and see if he can make it through bracket play himself, because he is locked in against one of our finalists. And in this second half, he's actually had the better of the chances to equalize than Mauricio's had to double his lead. There it is. Took a while. You see the sinking feeling from Fede and the smile from Mauricio. It took a while. Finally, a 2-goal lead, but not before. We had a few really good opportunities to tie things up from Fede. Joe, what's your score now? Oh, yeah, all right. So picking a different team did not help Robert in the end. They started again a new game. Robert rage quit the first one. Now they're playing a second one. Inter Miami against Real Madrid, and Joe is still winning. Fede's trying to get 1 goal back here. Get it to 2-1. See if that could have any impact, but good defensive play once again from Mauricio. It's going to be interesting to see in a few moments when we get to our grand final how things look when Joe takes on Mauricio. Just my perspective, having scouted them and having watched their games Thursday and now so far these 2 friendlies, you've got a really solid defensive style from Mauricio, and he had some lower scores and group play and the bracket play than we saw from Joe, who was more attacking minded, a lot of goals, even in terms of conceding some of his game's higher scoring. So stylistically, it seems they've been different. We'll see how it looks when they play each other, and we'll see how it looks in a 3-game series as well. Whoever gets the first one makes any big adjustments going into the second one, and if we get a third from there. Dying seconds here between Mauricio and Fede. I think the writing is on the wall in this one. Is there just going to be a third exclamation point goal from Mauricio? Might be the only question. virtual clock reads 90. 1 minute of stoppage time, which is basically nothing in the video game world. But can Fede get on the board? The chip, oh, there it is. He's pumped up. He at least got one. I don't know if he'll have time to tie it up, but he did get on the board. A tight 2-1 finish this is probably going to be. And there is the final whistle. I'm telling you, tournament organizers next year, get Fede in the tournament. He showed out today against Mauricio. Loses 2-1. But better than he let on that things were going to go for somebody who said he doesn't play much and is very bad at the game. So there you have it, our two friendlies in the books. We had Joe demolish Robert. I will spare you the score. And then we had a tight one between Fede and Mauricio, which our gamer Mauricio won 2-1. That does it for the exhibition portion. We're going to take a quick break here. And when we return on Twitch and YouTube, it's what you've been waiting for. It's the grand final of the 2024 Copa de la Familia powered by Duracell.
Did you know that Duracell is the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients, which deliver long-lasting power? That's why Duracell is built different from the rest. Shop Duracell, the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients. Did you know that Duracell is the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients, which deliver long-lasting power? That's why Duracell is built different from the rest. Shop Duracell, the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients. Did you know that Duracell is the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients, which deliver long-lasting power? That's why Duracell is built different from the rest. Shop Duracell, the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients.
That is the second place prize as we're ready to begin our grand final in the 2024 Copa de la Familia powered by Duracell. This will go to second place. It is an Inter Miami ball signed by the Big Four. Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, and Leo Messi all signed this one. It goes to second. Not a bad second place prize, by the way. I'm Joe Malfa, your host, ready to get things going in the grand finale. Happy to have you with us here on Twitch and on YouTube. And a reminder of what all of our prizes are. So second place will get that ball plus their own custom jersey. And our grand champion will get their own signed jersey from the whole team. And then the one-day contract with Inter Miami to be at the facility, be with the team. That was supposed to be this week. Hurricane Milton had other ideas. So our thoughts will be with all of those who are in the path of that storm right now. But that will turn out to be at a date later to be announced for that one-day contract for our grand champion today. And one final reminder of how they got here through the bracket. Mejora 69, that is Mauricio. You will see him on the right side of our two players when we get to the gameplay here. He came to the top half of the bracket, and it was really just strong showing after he dominated in the group. I think once we got to that round of 8 where he won 11-9, but he was up by a lot more early, that's when I think it set in that he was going to be one of our finalists. And on the bottom half, Auto Pro 1, that's Joe. He dominated from the jump. I think we knew that he was going to be one of the finalists from group play. Somebody in the Twitch chat actually shouted it out at some point during group play that Auto Pro 1, that would be one of our finalists, and that person in the chat turned out to be spot on. They are getting set right now, toggling their settings, toggling their lineups. Here's how it'll go, and it's a best of 3. There are no ties. There is no aggregate. Each individual game will have its own winner. And if you were with us on Thursday, we had one tie that needed to be decided in this way. So if they tie, say in game 1, it's 2-2 after 90 minutes, they will start a new game and play the first half. If it's still tied after that first half, they'll play a second half. If it's still tied after 2 full games like that, then we go to a third game and it's golden goal. And whoever wins that, it still counts as just one win for that first game. So every individual game will have a winner. We'll only need a third game, obviously, if the first 2 games are split. And they are going through their settings. The side that says ready, that is Joe. He is good to go. Mauricio toggling his last-minute settings. And then we will go into our first of the grand final matchups. Lineup decisions are always curious here. Let's see. This is Joe on the right. Well, he just beat Robert Taylor, and now he benched him, so that's kind of cold. He took him out for Facundo Farias. So there you go. He just beat you, and then he benched you. So Robert's still here with Fede, and Robert said he'd do the same, honestly. So fair play to Joe. And now we've got a 4-4-2 on Joe's side. It looked like we had a 4-diamond-2 on Mauricio's side. Tactics in this one, it's going to be 4-5-1 for Mauricio. It's always interesting. You're playing as the same team. Every setting is the same, but tactics can be different. Shape can be different. It is Mauricio in the pink. It is Joe in the black, and we are ready to begin our first matchup here in the grand finals, powered by Duracell in the 2024 Copa de la Familia. A one-day contract with Inter Miami on the line for our grand champion. That will be at a date later to be announced. It was supposed to be this week. Hurricane, again, will change that. And thoughts to everybody again in the path of it. Mauricio's here with us. He's actually going to leave after this and be in the path of it. So our thoughts will be with Mauricio. He's heading back to Orlando. And we're underway. So again, we've got Auto Pro 1. That is Joe. He's in the black. We've got Mauricio Mejora 69 in the pink. And we're underway in game 1 of our grand final. See if there's any feeling out process, or if we just go right from the beginning. Mauricio wants to score quickly. Almost did. Short corner. Dribbled out of play. It looked like something was off there, and it might have been. So they're agreeing on a different camera setting right now, and we're good to go. That's the difference now, not playing at home on their own setup, playing here on Xbox controllers powered by Duracell on one screen. A little bit different than the at-home setup that we had Thursday. They've agreed on a camera setting and the gameplay settings, and we're back to the action now. Mauricio still on the front foot early. Here's Joe in the black. Joe comes to us from Austin, big Longhorns fan of all sports. #1 college football team in the country. He's got that to be excited for this weekend. Will he be watching that game as the Copa de la Familia champion in his own right? This one's going to be offside. Mauricio from Colombia moved to the U.S. a few years ago for school. He's a computer science major now. Big supporter of Millonarios in Colombia and Inter Miami, of course, here in MLS. If I understood it correctly, neither of them have had a chance to take in an Inter Miami game in person when living in Austin and Orlando, so we'll have to change that at some point in the future. Nothing doing yet for Joe offensively. Mauricio had the early chance. Length of these halves are 9 minutes each. And again, thanks to those of you who are with us on Twitch and YouTube today. Another chance brewing for Mauricio. Save made. Winning game 1 is going to be crucial. Put the pressure on your opponent in game 2 with the title on the line. 4th edition of this Copa de la Familia. Been a great tradition that we've had year over year now at Inter Miami. Club started playing in 2020. Now here in 2024, 4th edition of this tournament. A little bit different than years past, how it's worked. Had over 900 applicants try to get into this year's Copa de la Familia. Had 31 players selected for the group stage on Thursday, and now down to our top 2 in this grand final. Both of these players right now looking for a power boost. Both proved they were built different by getting here through the tournament on Thursday. Glancing over at them from where I'm seated, they're both locked in. They're both already leaning forward in the chair. This means everything. Joe building something here, loves to get end line. We saw that on Thursday. He does get end line here and almost found his first goal. Every time, that's the move. And you can't really defend it because when you think he's going to go end line and pass it in front, that's when he drops the cut back on you. And then scores the guy he's controlling. They're locked in. Mauricio with the first goal. And remember, no aggregate here, so there's no benefit necessarily to winning by a bunch other than just comfortably breathing through the late stages of the match. Looking for a quick second one now. Falls nicely here, and there it is. Trey Kellner got a piece of it. Quick back-to-back, 2 minutes apart from Mauricio up 2-0. Joe in the black trying to get back on track here. Started the day nicely in his exhibition match against Robert Taylor. Mauricio tested by Federico Redondo. 2-1 finish in their exhibition. Maybe that was a warm-up and the tune-up he needed. That is Mauricio on the right, Joe on the left. Joe's in the black, he's down 2-0. Slotted through, flag stayed down. Oh. Very interesting as these two get to know each other over this first match, how things will change in the second match. Of course, somebody's going to have the pressure on that they have to win to keep it going. Less pressure in this first one. You know you've got the second one to try and battle back. The pressure will be on in game 2. Flag will stay down. Chance to make it 3-0 for Mauricio and take a commanding lead, and he did it. 3-0 in this first half. I don't know if we saw this coming. Either way, it didn't seem like either of these guys had a massive leg up on the other. Felt like it would be tight, and there's still plenty of time for Joe to get back in. We're going to have a runaway in this first game. We reset in game 2, almost 4. Joe's got to get one back before halftime here. This might be his chance, and there it is. You knew he'd respond at some point. There's 2 quick ones back-to-back moments ago. And Mauricio made it 2-0. Can Joe score just as quickly after going down 3-0? Mauricio trying to get it right back. Restore that 3-goal lead almost. Put it through. Unlucky there from Joe as he tried to clear it. Moments before halftime. Just a 2-goal game. Like a scene out of a movie, the rain and wind just picked up outside of where we are here inside of Chase Stadium. Drama building inside and out. It's got that big game feel to it. And these guys are both locked in. Chance to make it 4 off the post. Well, can that be a game changer? Can't miss your opportunities when it's this tight in the grand final. It's going to be an opportunity now to make it 3-2, it seems. Cut back into the deficit for Joe after it could have, maybe should have been 4-1. Forcing his way through, still with the ball. And a nice block in the end. I think the flag will stay down here. It was close. It did stay down to make it 4-1. Cut back, nobody making the trailing run. Very tight here. About to be a halftime. See if either guy makes adjustments at the half. Is it going to be 4? That's unlucky. That bounce up off the defender right before halftime. Big break for Mauricio. Was that a pause or is it halftime? That was halftime. So that was the last play of the first half. Some tactical changes here. It was Mauricio still making some more tactical changes. We're seeing Joe move Messi into the 10 now off the left wing. All right, so first 45 down and good to go again. That is Mauricio with a 4-1 lead here in the first game of our grand final. He's in the pink, Joe in the black, and almost a great start to this second half. Remember, aggregate does not carry over, so if this was 4-1 or 10-3, whatever the case is, it's just one win. That's all it counts for. So whoever's on the wrong end of it will have a chance to get right back in game number 2. Just have to win any way you can and force that game number 3. And there's a great way to start this second half. A nod to the head from Joe. That's exactly what he needed and wanted in this second half. And remember, in the event that we have a tie after 90, they will start a new game, play the first half. Whoever's leading at the end of that first half gets the win. If they're still tied, they keep going for a second half. If they're still tied after 2 full games, essentially, then they'll start a third, and it's golden goal. And that would only count as just the one win in the one game. Not playing extra time, not playing shootout. Could it be 4-3? There we go. As quickly as Mauricio got out to the lead in the first half, Joe gets right back in the second half. We knew it Thursday when we started seeing these two progress through the pool play and the bracket play that we had 2 of the best and it would be a tight, even matchup, and that is exactly what we have in the first of potentially 3 games. One-day contract with Inter Miami, and that whole experience on the line was supposed to be this week. Hurricane Milton changes that. It'll still happen at a date later to be announced. First place also gets a signed kit from the club. I had a chance to look at that earlier. It is that aqua blue 3rd edition kit signed by the whole team, and then second place gets this bowl that we had on the table signed by the Big Four. Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba, and they will also get their own custom jersey as well. So as you see the prizes and see how great this week has been, now these 2 finalists got to travel into South Florida, be here at Chase Stadium, meet and greet and play against Federico Redondo, Robert Taylor. That could be you next year. Make sure you keep an eye out as it gets closer and closer to being able to sign up for next year's edition of the Copa de la Familia. I'm happy to be powered by Duracell here in 2024. This tournament has been built different. It's been much different than past years, bigger, more contestants from further reaches of the country, not just a local tournament anymore. Help build this into something special. Approaching the hour mark of this first game. Twice, Mauricio had a 3-goal lead. Now it's a 1-goal game again. Mauricio trying to get it back up to a 2-goal lead here. This would be something if Joe could come back down 3 goals in this first game. From 3 goals down, almost. What would that do momentum-wise going into the second game? Mauricio got the jump. Joe responded. Here we are, 1-goal game. I'm not even playing, and I'm leaning forward in my seat, locked in as our 2 contestants are. Are there subs to be made, more tactical changes to be made as it gets tighter and later? Played over the top. That's a great ball. Great first touch. Great finish, 4-4. Brand new game. Mauricio led 3-0 and 4-1, but now here we are 4-4 after Joe came storming back. Oh, that would have been 4 unanswered goals. This is just game 1 of potentially 3. Who will be under pressure in game 2 to win to keep it alive? Just had Suarez release through, but had to get back. He was offside. Now that we are 4-4, just again, one more reminder, if we're tied after 90, they'll start a new game, but it wouldn't be a new game. It wouldn't be a tie. That would just still be an extension of this first game. There's no aggregate. There's just a winner and a loser in each of the games. Offside flag up. Close one. Mauricio maybe making it 5-4. Seen a good mix in this game of defensive and offensive play. These two guys locked into higher scoring matches in the bracket, but it was mostly either Joe or Mauricio blowing away the competition. Now they lock horns, best on best. Saw those tactical adjustments at the half from Mauricio. Didn't look like Joe made any tactical changes in the menu. Just to positionally move Messi inside instead of being on the outside. And that helped spring 2 of the 3 goals he scored in the second half to tie. So that move, that adjustment on halftime paid off. And here he is again with Messi on the ball centrally. It's interesting, we haven't seen Joe go end line as much as we did in the group play and the bracket play. He tried it early in the first half a couple of times, didn't work out, so he switched up the way he played, and we thought that would be the case. Once these two got to feel each other out first half, how they adjusted beyond that. Something tells me we might be headed to playing all 3 games in this series, and who knows how many extra halves as well. Through 80 minutes of the first game, nothing separating these two. 4-4. Final 10 minutes of regulation of the first game. After that third goal to tie it 4-4, that third in a row from Joe, everything has gotten tighter. Neither has really had any chances to make it 5-4. I don't think actually since we had that 4-4 tying goal that either has had a shot on or off target. It's been all this, just playing through, building up, looking for something but not finding it. But at this stage, 85th minute, have to think next goal probably wins. Is it coming here for Joe? He gets by. There it is. Finally. Well, he made the decision to bench Robert Taylor right in front of Robert Taylor, and the guy he put in is the one who scores. And now with 5 minutes to go, we're going to get some changes from both. From 4-1 down, Joe has taken a 5-4 lead, and Mauricio has to find a way. Just a few minutes to go. All right, out of the menu and back onto the field here. So the clock says 86 now. We're coming down to the wire. Just had the goal from Joe to make it 5-4. Is he going to get conservative here and see it over the finish line or look for a 6? He's looking for a 6 to put this one to bed here. And he's got a corner. That'll help him kill some clock as well. Did score off a corner earlier. That's what made it 4-2 once we got into the second half. Didn't have the luck on this one. The attack's still alive. Is there even going to be an opportunity for Mauricio to equalize at 5-5? Played through. Is it 6-4 right here? Big save made. Rebound put off the post. Oh, is that a lifeline now for Mauricio? Could have and probably should have been 6-4. 90th minute. He's going to have a chance the other way. Oh, and it's cut off. Joe going to pass it around now, maybe just end this one. I think so. So he gave him a lifeline with the save and off the post. He'll play it around. The final whistle's there, and from 4-1 down, Joe wins the first game 5-4. So that's game 1. And we head now into game 2. Mauricio will have to win to force a game 3. He had a 4-1 lead and a 3-0 lead. They're ready to jump right into the second game now. Joe on the left, Mauricio on the right. And here we go, game 2. I couldn't tell from where I was sitting. Are you guys still the same jersey colors as before, or did you switch? Same colors, okay. Just making sure. Wasn't sure if they switched to one being home and away, if they flip-flopped it game 1 to game 2. Not that it really matters. So it is still Mauricio in the pink and Joe in the black as we are into game 2 now. Mauricio had a hot start in game 1, looking for the same hot start in game 2. Is he going to get it? Oh, unlucky. So if you're going from game 1 into game 2, still looking at it from that perspective, Joe has scored 4 unanswered goals. If he scores here, it's 5 unanswered goals. Carrying over from game 1. Denied on his first good look. Game 2, Joe won the first one. Mauricio has to win this one. He's in the pink. If he does not win this one, Joe is our grand champion in the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. Mauricio slips it through, tries to get around the keeper. That's a penalty. Is it also a red card? No, yellow. All right, penalty for Mauricio. He is shielding his controller away. And he tucks it in. Good start for Mauricio. He would have liked to see a red card there and really taken advantage, but just the goal. And will certainly give his hopes at mounting a comeback here, down 1-0, and will certainly give it a power boost. So he starts game 2 the same way he started game 1, taking an early lead. That lead became 3-0 and then 4-1 before he squandered it and lost 5-4 in the opening game. Joe again coming to us from Austin, Texas. Originally from LA. Mauricio originally from Colombia, now by way of Orlando. Still going to school there. Computer science major. Just because he lives in Orlando, don't worry, does not mean he supports Orlando City. It's a bad word around these parts. Doesn't matter though, because they can't beat us. And a second goal for Mauricio. So exactly the start he was looking for, but can he rewrite the ending this time? Down 1-0, but up 2-0. It was a 3-goal lead last time. Did he learn his lesson from game 1 so that he can see this through and force a decisive game 3? Players will have the option to take a break between game 2 and game 3 if they want as well. If we get there, oh, could have been 3. Joe didn't really kick it into a higher gear until right before halftime in that first game, and then he came roaring out of the break. Got to pause here on our first look at the menu. This time it's Joe who's changing up the tactics, I believe. Mauricio making his own change now. Any personnel changes? Okay, so Joe's already making the change he made last game. He started with Messi on the left side last game, moved him to the middle at halftime, and that's what sparked his turnaround. Thought he might start with Messi back in the middle in this game, but he kept him back on the left. Changed it earlier, though, this time. See if he can spark this comeback earlier than last game. But it was better late than never last game. He still turned it around, still got the W. Auto Pro 1. Joe, he's our guy. He leads 1-0 right now against Bebejora 69. That's Mauricio. He's in the pink. He's up 2-0 in the second game, having to win to force a game 3. This could be our final matchup here in the 2024 Copa de la Familia powered by Duracell. Unless Mauricio wins and forces that third game, this could be it. But he does have that 2-goal lead. Joe trying to cut into it. Almost halfway through this first half. Down 2-0. Here he is. Joe looking to get a goal back. Tried to sneak it centrally. Blocked out well. Corner. Almost. That's what got him back into the game last time. A header off of a corner. For the second game in a row, Mauricio leads Joe early on. It was a 3-goal lead last game. It's only a 2-goal lead this game. The 3-goal lead last game wasn't enough. He scored the first goal in this game on a penalty and then quickly thereafter added the second. Very arguably could have been a red card on the penalty, but just a yellow, so we're still playing 11 on 11. Now Joe to get one back, save. Rebound was juicy, but nobody crashing. Half an hour gone in this second match. Floated over the top. Suarez won't get there. Looks like it's more conservative from Mauricio this time after taking the 2-goal lead. Doesn't seem like he's playing as aggressive as he was last game when he was already up 3-0. It's not necessarily a bad thing because it was maybe that aggressive style that opened the door for that comeback by Joe. Happy to have all of you with us on Twitch and on YouTube here for the final day of the 2024 Copa de la Familia powered by Duracell. Chance now for Joe to get a goal back. Saved again. Couple of big saves made. I guess all the saves in this game are by Drake Callender, but by Mauricio's Drake Callender. Nice shout out to real life Drake Callender. Recently became a father. Congratulations. Mauricio might be in behind here. And the chance to make it 3. Nobody running in the middle for support. Has to go at it alone. Can he get to halftime with the clean sheet? He gave up that goal before halftime in the first game. That's what sort of started Joe's momentum trail back. He can keep the 0 going into the break here. That would certainly be a power boost to his chances. See if this one can be the one that Mauricio slams the door on after blowing the lead in the first game. Still up 2-0 here. Has to win to force a game 3. Both the goals came earlier. It's been a little while. Closing minutes of this first half. Both of these games have been incredibly tight. Even when the score got a little out of hand in the first game with a 3-goal lead, it never felt like it was a 3-goal game. And quickly, that lead evaporated and turned into a win by Joe after coming back against Mauricio. Mauricio on the right, Joe on the left. Mauricio in the pink, Joe in the black. And Mauricio with a 2-0 lead, down 1-0. And that's the first half. So second half is where Joe mounted his comeback last game. Ended up scoring 4 unanswered to win it 5-4. We're going to go through some changes here now. Looks like Joe is good to go. Mauricio will make some changes. Looks like he just brought in Matias Rojas for Julian Gressel. Looks like Joe just pushed Jordi Alba further up the field. Dropped Gressel back and now going to sub Gressel out, I believe. Underway in half number 2. If Joe has the same comeback he did in the first game and wins this one, that will be it. He will be our grand champion. If Mauricio can hold on to this 2-0 lead, we will have a game 3 coming up. And that will be winner take all. Mauricio looking for that 3-goal lead. Can't find it yet. This guy's playing on Xbox today. Controllers that are powered by Duracell batteries. Here in the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. Joe has not really had many opportunities in this one. Mauricio has controlled the ball. He's been good defensively. And is he going to take a 3-goal lead here? Oh, another big save. Here come those changes that they both had prepared at halftime. Nice header off the corner. Again, that was what got Joe back into the first game. A goal off the corner. Oh, he's onside. He was on his own side of midfield. Pass was off target, though. Otherwise, would have been sprung in behind for Mauricio to try and get after this potential 3-goal lead. He's been falling short and looking for that 3-goal lead. A couple of big saves made, a couple of chances squandered. Another chance, though, brewing now. As Messi, if he can get it back onto the left foot for a shot here. Good defensive play again by Joe. Trying to keep it just a 2-goal deficit. Give him a chance to clinch this title in game 2 and avoid a game 3. Aggregate is 6-5 in favor of Mauricio. Doesn't count for anything, just giving you a sense of how tight this is. It was a 5-4 game to begin. It's a 2-goal game here. It is Mauricio leading on aggregate. There's a decent chance that even after 3 games, obviously we'll have a champion, but the aggregate could be tied with how tight things are. Nothing separating these guys right now. They both punched and counter-punched, and almost a brilliant goal to bring it back within one by Joe, but not meant to be. Nice chip. Brought down by Rojas, and the assistant referee had the flag up. Don't see that too often in the video game world. The virtual assistant referee with the flag up signaling something, but play continuing anyway. Usually you just get that automatic AI whistle, stop play, and like that on the offside. Well, this new EAFC 25 has been very, very realistic, and it's been a challenge for these gamers to kind of figure out some of the new nuances. Bit of a different engineering system than the first, or rather the EA24. Through. Chance for Joe to make it 2-1 and make it interesting. He'll have another corner. He's been good on these. Goes long. Oh, he had a man open. He just sat back in his chair. He felt he should have done better there. Wins it back, though, on the high press. Played it behind intended target. Really good response from Mauricio to losing the first game. In control of this one. The 2 early goals. Hasn't conceded. Looking to force a game 3. Still looking for that 3-goal lead. A lot of chances have been from distance. All saves made. Short corner didn't work out. And it's not Mauricio in the pink who needs to score right now. He's up 2, but insurance would be nice. Joe running out of time. Gives it away off the goal kick. And there it is. A mistake makes it 3-0. And it looks like we're going to be headed to a game 3 here. It would take quite a comeback now, but maybe this is the first goal back. Not to be. Barring a 3-goal comeback in the last 15 minutes. And granted, Joe was down 3 goals in the first game, but it wasn't this late. Barring that 3-goal comeback, we are going to get exactly what we wanted, which is all the drama, everything on the line, decisive game 3. And both Joe and Mauricio will have the option to take a break between game 2 and game 3 if they choose, or they can roll right into game 3. That'll be their call once this one is done. Tight 5-4 win for Joe in the first game, but Mauricio pulling away now. Can he go up 4-0 and put it totally out of reach if it isn't already? Slotted through. There's 4. This one's done. We are going to a game 3. After a very, very tight first game, a little bit of a blowout here in the second game. There's one back. Okay, all right. But even so, that it's a 4-1 scoreline right now, it's never really felt that out of reach. It's been so tight back and forth. A couple of mistakes by Joe on the back end, conceding a penalty, giving the ball away on a goal kick. Those have cost him. If he makes it 4-2, maybe we have a chance to have some drama here. Okay. Okay, Mauricio looks a little more nervous now all of a sudden. It was the same 4-1 score in the first game before it turned into a 5-4 win for Joe. Did he leave this one too late at that 4-1 scoreline? And this one again was actually 4-0 first. There's your AI-generated win probability, 84% right now for Mauricio. 13% chance of a draw, only 3% chance of a win for Joe at the moment. 86-minute, 2-goal game, given away, but recovered immediately. A fifth would be nice. Let's put this one to bed. At this point, there's no way back from a 3-goal deficit. 2 goals is even going to be tough now in the 88th minute. The 3, no shot. Every time he gets the ball now, Joe, it basically has to be a goal. Starting his move forward up the left side now. Just been really good contained defense from Mauricio in the second game. 90th minute, 2-goal game. Seems like Mauricio has this one in the bag. Got dicey there for a second after the quick back-to-back to make it 4-2 after it was 4-0. 90th minute, 1 minute stoppage time. That is not enough time to score 2 goals in this game. Maybe 1 to make it 4-3. Nope. This is how this one's going to end. A 4-2 win for Mauricio. There's the final whistle. So we will go to a decisive game 3. I'm going to take a break. It looks like they're going to take a quick break here before they roll into game 3. So take a quick break, get into game 3. We'll take a quick break as well. Be back in just a few minutes for the decisive third game in the grand final of the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell.
Did you know that Duracell is the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients, which deliver long-lasting power? That's why Duracell is built different from the rest. Shop Duracell, the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients. Did you know that Duracell is the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients, which deliver long-lasting power? That's why Duracell is built different from the rest. Shop Duracell, the only brand with PowerBoost ingredients.
For the final of the grand final in the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. Our two finalists, Joe and Mauricio, they split the first two games, so we need a decisive game three. These two guys have certainly been built different. You got the power boost in the second game from Mauricio to tie things up at 1. Here again, a reminder what they're playing for. This is actually the second place prize, and it's not a bad consolation prize. A ball signed by the big four of Inter Miami: Suarez, Messi, Alba, and Busquets. And then you get a custom jersey as well as the runner-up, but that's not what they're playing for. They're not playing to finish in second place. They're playing to win, and the winner gets a signed jersey from the club and also the grand prize of a one-day contract with Inter Miami. That was supposed to be this week. Hurricane Milton barreling toward Florida changed the timing on that, so they're still going to get their one-day contract with the club. It'll just be at a date later to be announced. So that is what they're playing for now. Remember, it was 5-4 in the first game. Joe won, and then 4-2 in the second game. Mauricio won. There is no aggregate. You don't have to keep in mind what those scores were. Just a reminder to you of how close those games were. But there is no aggregate. There's nothing to think about here. One win for Joe, one win for Mauricio. Comes down to this game 3. And if we need to, the tiebreaker is just starting a new game, playing a half. If it's still tied, go to a second half, and then beyond that, golden goal. So we'll get you those tie-breaking scenarios if need be later on. But simple as this, whoever wins this is our grand champion and gets the one-day contract with Inter Miami. Each of the last two games, it was Mauricio who jumped out to the lead. First game, he led 3-0 and 4-1, but ultimately lost 5-4. Second game, it was a more comfortable 4-0 lead. Late on, 2 goals brought back by Joe, but could not complete the comeback. So here we are in game 3. This is it. One game, winner take all, 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. As it was in the first 2 games, it is Mauricio in pink and Joe in black. Got a crowd of other people who have been around, people who have helped put this all together. Our 2 Inter Miami pros, Robert Taylor, Federico Redondo, they are all gathered around watching here in our grand final. All the chatter in the room really started to stop in the second game. Everybody's just locked in now. Series tied 1-1. Winner here wins the Grand Championship in the 4th edition of the Copa de la Familia. Mauricio trying to start quickly like he did in the first 2 games. Be nice for Joe if he can actually get out to a lead in this one. He actually hasn't had a lead to play with. The only quote-unquote lead he had was the final score of 5-4 in the first game, and that goal came late. It came in the 85th minute. So we played 2 matches, and Joe has only been in the lead for 5 minutes of gameplay. Could this be the earliest and first time that he scores first and takes a lead? Good defensive play. That has been a calling card for Mauricio in this. We saw his exhibition against Federico Redondo in the opening portion of our programming here. That was 0-0 till late on. He won it 2-1, and then second game, especially against Joe, was very tight. He didn't give up his first goal until the last 10 minutes when he had that comfortable 4-0 lead already. And that's what I had mentioned coming in, just based on being able to watch these two go at it in their group play and bracket play on Thursday, and then their exhibitions here today. Joe is more favored when it's open and end-to-end and higher scoring, and Mauricio has been better when the score has been tighter. We saw that on Thursday in the opening round of pool play and bracket play. And we're seeing it manifest here. It's Mauricio who succeeds more, or excels more rather, in this situation when it is tighter. It's been Joe who's had the success when the game opens up a bit more and they start going back and forth. So if the pace is slowed down like this, you think it favors Mauricio based on what we've seen so far. Down the wing here for Joe. Inside to Suarez. Is it his first time scoring first? No, big save. Still has yet to score first in this series against Mauricio. Opening goal has gone to Mauricio each of the 2 times. Trying to make it all 3 here. "20 minutes gone. Winner take all. Game 3. Series tied 1-1. This is the longest we've gone without a goal being scored. At this point of each of the first 2 matches, somebody had already gotten on the board. It's to be expected in this winner take all. When does that breakthrough come? Almost at the half-hour mark now of this final game 3. Joe looking to find a way through. He's had more of the opportunities and the territory controlled so far. There's a throw coming. I don't know, something tells me that we're destined to have to go to an extra tiebreaker here in this 3rd game, the way things have gone. Free kick here from distance. It's certainly in Messi territory, though. Chance here for Joe from the free kick. Oh, my goodness. Why not? What a way to kick things off. Opening goal of this decisive game 3. That free kick was, 35 yards out. Lined it up perfectly. Mauricio trying to respond immediately. Oh, well-timed challenge. Did not concede the penalty. Mauricio down 1-0, trying to make it 1-1. Nothing from open play yet in this game between these 2 players. It took that free kick. First time in these 3 games in this series that Joe scored first. Mauricio had the leg up in each of the first 2 games. Is Joe going to make it 2-0? No, good bit of defending again, but the corner conceded unnecessarily. From the corner, dealt with. Still alive, though, for Joe. Gives it away. Be interesting if Joe can find a second one. The first 2 games, we saw Mauricio take a 3-goal and then 4-goal lead. And we saw how Joe responded to that. How would Mauricio respond to going down by a couple of goals? This is the first time that he's trailed this early Remember that 5-4 finish in the opening match? It was 85th minute. That 5-4 tie-breaking goal. That turned out to be the winning goal, and that was the only time that Joe, up until this point, had any lead, and save made. Otherwise, it's 2. Offside. Another perfect tackle. Over the top from Joe. And as you're watching here on Twitch and YouTube, that is Joe on the left, Mauricio on the right. It's Mauricio playing in the pink, Joe playing in the black. We're in Game 3 of the Grand Finals of the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. So 1-0 lead in this decisive Game 3 for Joe, who's looking for a second here. Patiently playing it around. Back to Gressel. Chance to make it 1-1. There it is. Walking the tightrope on the end line. Didn't think there was any way through there for Mauricio, but he found the space needed. Good response before halftime to make it 1-1. There's your win probability graphic. Currently favoring Joe, even though the 1-1 scoreline by a slight tick. It's because he's got more expected goals, probably. You'd see in the halftime screen, perhaps. Hey, when you guys get to the halftime screen, leave it up for a second. I want to see how close the stats are, because this is as tight as it gets right now. If you happen to click the button too quick, don't worry about it. But I want to see those stats at halftime. This has been as tight as it gets. Let's see if the numbers back up how tight it has looked. And that should do it. So here we go. Let's see. Let's see. Halftime stats, more possession, heavily to one side. Expected goals are tight, both sub-1. It is tight, and it's 1-1 on the scoreboard. That's what matters most. It's 1-1 in the series, 1-1 in the game. This could be it here. If we have a winner after these next 45, that is your grand champion. If we're still tied, what they will do is start a new game, and then it'll just go half by half. If somebody's leading after that first half of the new game, that's the winner. If it's tied at that halftime, play another half. If it's still then tied after what would then be a full 180, then we would start another new game, and it would just be golden goal. That's what lies ahead. But first, see if one of these two can break that tie and win it here in regulation. Into the second half. Here we go. Joe in the black, Mauricio in the pink. Offside. No. Keep going. Flag stayed down. Oh, and then they collide at the end. Oh, Mauricio, I thought you had it there. Maybe it's here. Nope. Good defensive play. That's Mauricio, gamertag Bebejota 69, and Joe, gamertag Auto Pro 1. Joe going at it now with Messi. I mean, that's a good idea. Just give Messi the ball and go to work. Played through now for Suarez. Will it be Joe or Mauricio who proves that he is built different like Duracell batteries? Second half of the decisive Game 3. Still 1-1. Oof. Nasty challenge. Play on. Advantage still here for Joe. Try the left side through Farias. Clipped over the top. At the hour mark, still 1-1 in the game and the series. Played long in behind. Joe's Messi latches on, but loses out to Alba. Long ball through. It's a little bit wide, but he brings it in at the end line. That's how he scored that first goal to tie it 1-1 from the odd angle. Not meant to be this time. Mauricio's got something working with that run end line and that odd angled shot. Scored a couple of goals like that in the first 2 matches, and now one already here, nearly a second. This is as tight as it gets. 25 minutes left in the regulation portion of this one. We'll go to a tiebreaker if needed. It's 1-1 in the series and the game. If you're at work and watching us on Twitch and YouTube, you made a good choice to not be productive and watch this instead. Tell your boss it can wait. Oh, misplay. That might not have been the best choice there. A lob through. Recovered, though, by Mauricio. Played through for Messi. Saved. Minutes to play. It's interesting that Joe has been using Messi in the wide position in this third game. He moved him centrally in the first 2 games, and it worked really well for him. Been playing with him on the wing this third game, rather. To the end line with Rojas. That was something, again, that we saw from Joe in the Thursday portion, in the group play and the bracket play, just getting end line a lot and sneaking that pass in front of the 8 goals he scored today. I don't think one has come in that style. Mauricio has shut it down. Flag does come up this time. Get another pause here. 73-51, the clock reads. Tactical switch coming here on both sides, it seems. Joe just moved Messi up top. All right, here we go. Final 15 minutes. If we're still tied, we'll start a new game and play another half. And then just keep going from there. Or is there a winner here in 90? Nice turn. Suarez through. Save made. Oh, this is going to come down to the wire. I think we knew it right from the jump with how tight that first game went. at 5-4. And here we are at the end of game 3, almost again at the end line, that tight angle play. From where we started Thursday to where we are now, could not have asked for a better conclusion to the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell. Is this the moment for Joe? Now headed away by Mauricio. At this late stage, any moment now can be the moment. 80th minute. Here comes Mauricio again. I thought for a split second that was going to get called as a penalty. That would have been a terrible way to end it. Mauricio building. 82nd minute. Has the open run from Farias. Suarez there with him. Oh, he runs right into Martinez. '84th minute. Now the 85th. This is the minute that Joe scored the winning goal in game 1 when he took it 5-4. Oh, that was close. Almost jumped it. If we get a goal now, it would be the latest goal that we've had scored in the 3 games that we played. And it would almost certainly be the winning goal in the Copa de la Familia. Are these two just content to go to an extra half, or is somebody going to get aggressive here and go for the win? A one-day contract with Inter Miami on the line for the grand champion. And if you were with us Thursday, I've been saying it the whole time that one-day contract was supposed to be something that happened this week. Hurricane changed that. It'll be a date to be announced later. Is it going to be one right here by Joe? To the end line, looking in front. That's been his patented move all tournament long, but it's scouted well by Mauricio. 90th minute now. If they're still tied, they will set up their tactics and start a new game and play another half. Whoever would be winning at halftime of that game would be the winner. If it's still tied, they'll play the second half. If it's still tied, then it's golden goal in another new game. And it looks like we're heading for that extra half. We are. Gentlemen, get it going again. Get the tactics all set up, hit the rematch, we'll play another half. Now again, just a reminder, whoever, it's not golden goal yet, you play the full first half. If it's still tied, you keep going. If somebody's winning at halftime, that is the champion. Once they get their settings going, they will start this new game. And again, it's technically a new game, but it's not a full game. It's whoever's winning at halftime is the champion now. Consider this just an extension of Game 3. Instead of playing extra time or going to a shootout, felt that this was the fairest way to do it. Just put 45 back on the clock and play it through again. These guys have now played 6 halves of EAFC 25 against each other. They know each other too well at this point. Well, we had that 1-1 finish here in Game 3. How far will we have to keep playing now is the question. All right, here we go. This could be it, but we said that last game too. This doesn't need to be a full game. If somebody's leading at halftime, it's done. Again, it's Mauricio in the pink. Again, it's Joe in the black. Any goal now could be the goal that does it. Happy to have had you with us here on Twitch and YouTube. Going back to last Thursday and now into today's grand final. 3 games, not enough to decide it. We had to go to this tiebreaker now in the third game. 5-4 win for Joe, 4-2 win for Mauricio, 1-1 in the third game. Now we take it half by half. Flag is going to come up here. Joe pushing through. Defensive play from Mauricio has been top-notch all day through all 3 games. At some point, we're going to get that decisive moment. And if they're still tied at halftime, they'll then play the second half. If they're still tied after that, they're going to start another new game, and then it's just simply golden goal. Still got a little ways to get to that point, though, where it is the drama of golden goal. All right, here comes Joe down the wing. Back inside. Just not finding any easy avenues through Mauricio's defense here. Mauricio trying to break out. Offside flag comes up. Long ball over the top to run on to, and Calendar's not going to get there first, but he gets there second. Worked out okay in the end for Joe, but he gives it away. Chance for Mauricio here to take the lead. There it is. Okay, so we have a lead for Mauricio. So now, if he gets to halftime of this new game with the lead, he's the winner. So now Joe's got to get it back. Again, this is not going a full 90. This is only until halftime. That is our finish line, quote-unquote, right now. If somebody has a lead at halftime, that is our grand champion. Right now, Mauricio in the lead. Looking for a second to make it 2-0 here. Is that last goal the power boost that Mauricio needed to win the 2024 Copa de la Familia, powered by Duracell? Or is Joe going to equalize right here? Off the bar, unlucky. Oh. Well, for you Inter Miami supporters who are tuning in and who are as locked in as we are, this is a good practice run for you before we get into MLS Cup playoffs play for the club itself, where the drama will be high. Remember to get out to Chase Stadium, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, October 19th, for the regular season finale with a win over New England at home. Inter Miami would set the all-time single-season points record in MLS, which would actually break the record set by New England, their opponent, coincidentally, that day. New England had that record set in 2021. And that record actually would have been a lot higher for New England in 2021 if not for the fact that Inter Miami beat them on the last day of the season when New England had the Supporter Shield done and dusted. So 3 years later, a result by Inter Miami in 2021 gives the 2024 team a chance to set a record. It all comes full circle. Free kick here for Maurizio. 18 minutes to go in this half. If he has a lead at the end of this half, he is the champion. The computer science major scored a free kick to get here through bracket play. Does he have the angles all mapped out again? Not this time, off the wall. Flag stays down, closing in here as Robert Taylor. You got to do it. You got to do it. You played him in the exhibition. Now you get a goal with him with everything on the line. A fitting moment for Joe, and it's 1-1 again. We're tied, and we'll see if we got to go beyond 45. That's the reward, Joe, for putting your faith in your exhibition partner from earlier. At least the virtual version of him getting it done. Back to square one, tied again. If it's still tied at halftime of this new game, we'll play a second half. If somebody has a lead, that person is the winner. And mistimed the run, couldn't play it behind. Flag would have come up. To the grand champion, a one-day contract with Inter Miami. At a date to be announced later because of the hurricane this week. First place also gets a signed jersey from the whole team. Laid eyes on that earlier. That'll be nice for framing and putting up in a man cave somewhere. For second place, not going home empty-handed. Got this signed ball that we have next to us on the table from the Big Four. Messi, Suarez, Alba, Busquets, and then also your own custom jersey as well. Taken away by Joe. Trying to work right through the middle. It bounced right to him. There it is. That could be the winner. 5 minutes to go. If Mauricio doesn't find one now before this halftime whistle goes, Joe will be the champion. And perhaps fitting that both goals he has scored in this potential decisive half with Robert Taylor sitting right next to him watching him. Three minutes for Mauricio to find a tying goal and extend it again. He had a lead 1-0. 2 unanswered goals from Joe. Is it a third? Oh, that might have sealed the deal. Instead, Mauricio is still alive. 2 minutes, plus probably 1 minute of stoppage time. On the turn, it's Messi, and that should do it. A big fist pump from Joe. I think he knows now. Into stoppage time. When the whistle blows, there it is. Our 2024 Copa de la Familia champion, powered by Duracell, is Joe. Gamertag Auto Pro 1. He comes in from Austin, and he is our grand champion. He gets the one-day contract with Inter Miami at a date to be announced later. And all smiles. What a series that turned out to be. We went the full 3 games. We needed an extra half in Game 3, and we have our winner. Joe, I'm going to ask you to come over here, throw this headset on, get the little winner's interview going. So, it took you 3 games. It took you an extra half in the 3rd game, but you got it done. So just take me through it. That first game, we'll start there. You're losing 3-0. You're losing 4-1. What changes did you make, and how'd you come back in that first one?
The first one, I kind of just sat back the first half, kind of just analyzed his game, kind of see what he was gonna do, and then obviously, you know, I got the goals, and I came back, and then just held on to the lead from there. And then the second game, it's kind of cold in here. I'm not gonna lie, you know, that threw me off a little bit. I wasn't really comfortable shaking the whole game, but I mean, it was nerves too. Not gonna lie, he's good. He's really good. But I mean, he took the second game, and then the third game, you know, bounced back, and then yeah. It was a struggle, but I mean, I made it.
How did it feel to score as Robert with him sitting next to you? Those 2 winning goals.
It was funny, you know. The other games I didn't start him, and then you know the games I started him, he came in clutch for me, and you know he scored those 2 very important goals for me. So yeah, I was very happy.
There you go. So obviously it can't happen this week because of the hurricane that is unfortunately on the way to Florida. And again, thoughts with everybody who are in the path and who will be affected. So it's not going to be this week, but you will down the line get that one-day contract with the club. What are you most looking forward to?
The training, actually, the being able to practice a little bit, you know, seeing what that's like. So that's what I look forward to, you know.
Awesome. And do you have somewhere in mind in your home where you're going to hang up that signed jersey?
My room.
In the room.
So I can look at it whenever I want.
Awesome. Well, you and I were chatting outside before this whole thing began. You said you love playing the game just because of the fun, but you also have a lot more fun when you win. So I think you ended up having a lot of fun when all was said and done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely did.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you. It's always
Yes, sir,
nice when
thank
somebody
you.
with the same name gets a W. Joe interviewing Joe. We had a lot of fun here in the 2024 Copa de la Familia powered by Duracell. A big thank you to everybody who made this possible. Our partners at Duracell. Once again, your final scores, how things went here. That final aggregate after we went to the extra time in Game 3, a 4-2 win for Joe, our grand champion. That'll do it for us here. Thank you for everybody who joined us on Twitch and YouTube. We had over 900 people sign up initially. That got whittled down to 31 initial participants in group play. From there, we had our final 2, and now there is only 1. Joe from Austin, our champion in 2024. Make sure you are back next year for the Copa de la Familia powered by Duracell.
Did you know that Duracell is the only brand with PowerBoost Ingredients, which deliver long-lasting power? That's why Duracell is built different from the rest. Shop Duracell, the only brand with PowerBoost Ingredients.